enter stream. Hey guys, all we're up to right now is we're just hanging out in here. And also, again, excuse me sounding like I am dying again. But honestly though, y'all, I can't believe I'm saying this. I'm officially on day 5 now of this sickness. This is stupid. I don't even know why in the first place I'm still having to put up with all this. But yeah, we're just still doing it. Anyway. Yeah. So if anyone on here is new, welcome. And if you are a returning subscriber or even a mod of mine, welcome back. But yeah, all we're basically just doing now, y'all, is we're just hanging out right now. So feel free to ask questions. But also, we're going to take it easy on this live, too. We're not going to go extreme. Especially with me still not really feeling that good. I mean, really though, y'all, I'm still, kind of symptoms right now are, I'm still talking kind of low still. Occasionally I'm coughing still. But yeah, I'm still occasionally coughing every now and then. I mean, my throat isn't like bad, but I mean, my throat isn't nearly as bad as it's been. But, yeah. So, basically, that's all that's been happening over here. It's just all of that. So, and then also earlier, I actually started getting dizzy earlier, like an hour ago, for a little while. And then my head was pounding as well. So, yeah, I also couldn't believe the fact I was also getting both of my epilepsy side effects on top of all this. Ugh, that just made it all worse as well. So, right now, some of it's slowed down a little bit. But my head hurts a little bit, but it's not like super bad right now. But that's because I took meds like an hour ago. So I actually need to put that in my Google Doc later. But anyway, yeah. So yeah, we're just trying to hang in there and just hope that all of this slows down really soon. But anyway, yeah. So yeah. Anyway, yeah. That's what honestly is going on right now. Feel free to like and subscribe for those of you who are just joining. Be sure to hit the notification bell to all notifications so this way you guys are up to date on everything. So, aka what I'm saying, what I'm trying to fully put out there is be sure you have the notification bell settings set to all notifications so this way you can get every single update that comes out from live streams, videos, and more. And even I say this too. I would hate if someone. I honestly hate if somebody was not getting notified out of our subscribers that is subscribed to us but just forgot to do that. I just hate for a lot of you to miss something that came out and y'all probably would have been excited about. I would hate to not have that, not to have, but to have that happen to any one of y'all, because um, that's just not how on this channel it goes. All right, but yeah, so like I said, feel free to hit the notification bell, hit the subscribe button, but also like the live, but just like the channel, you know. And just have fun for a little bit too, because y'all, on my life, it's about having fun and just taking in the moment to be distracted and not just us trying to worry about day to day life stuff that goes on. But yeah. So that's just all we do here though, y'all. But so but yeah. Just a moment. But yeah. And even y'all, but y'all, for a lot of you who haven't been on my lives recently, I recently started getting sick around Sunday morning. And y'all, the craziest part was I actually was waking up for church on that day too. Like, I was actually supposed to be working the kids ministry that day because I'm also a part of the um, children's ministry there as well, which I'm finally back at it. Like, I'm only on, right now I'm actually on my second month. At this point, it would have been my third month if I wasn't sick Sunday, which actually was like, which was November 30th. So yeah, this month would have been month 3, but instead it's going to be month 2, which is okay. It's not a big deal at all. But anyway, yeah. So, yeah. So of course that messed me up by like one number. But anyway, yeah. So, oh, there's a mess up here. But yeah, you guys, the like button is up here. Feel free to hit that like button as you're coming in here so we can continue to get the YouTube algorithm going, because, you know, I don't want us to be the one channel that is on the weak side of things, like, you know, views and all that stuff. Excuse me there too. And yawn. But yeah, I'm not gonna be online that long though, y'all. But anyway. But yeah, so my parents were in the background. But yeah. So yeah. And I'm also really cold too right now because y'all know over here it's like freezing. Like it's in the 40s, for crying out loud. Like I'm actually wearing one of my black sets, but it's only the pants portion because the shirt of it decided to get a hole. And for those of you who don't know me that well through here, one thing about me is my OCD/sensory issues drive me insane. Like they drive me nuts whenever I see a automatic hole, not a designer hole, an automatic hole that pops up in like socks, shoes. Well, socks, like any kind of clothing you think about is socks, pants, shorts, dresses, skirts. What was that said? Cardigans, jackets, you name it. Anything that's clothing based, but also anything that's like furniture things that are like blankets, pillowcases, anything, really anything that's part of like furniture gets holes. it drives me nuts. Like, mm, like automatic holes, it makes me crazy. But also, it makes me crazy whenever, let's say I see someone has a hole in their soccer pants, and it drives me actually insane. That's me though, y'all. It's an OCD. It's more of like my OCD slash it's more of an OCD thing slash sensory thing with me that drives me nuts. But a lot of us have some kind of OCD thing, about something that makes us go crazy. But yeah. So see, I'm only wearing the pants portion of the original pajama because the pants don't seem to have any holes right now. So they'll be good for at least a little bit until they start getting holes, and they're gonna get done for. Like they will get done for good. Um, but anyway, um, yeah. So anyway, um, but yeah, honestly, that's what's been going on there. Um, but um, yeah, yeah. So anyway, um, yeah. Um, but um, anyway, uh, yeah. So um, yeah. But honestly, though, y'all, that's what's been happening there. Um, but um, yeah. So. And also, y'all, I've also been wearing socks today too, once again, because it's been so cold. Like, y'all, I probably have only took my socks off at night when I'm going to bed just so my feet don't overheat. But during the day, not a big deal because there's still a little bit of, it's still kind of chilly in here, even though it's cold outside. But, yeah, they still kind of get cold. But, yeah, I just don't want my feet to oversweat and make me slip. Because, like, let's say if I had to wake up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom or something like that. I'm not trying to wake up. Hang on, y'all. Alright, hey you guys, sorry about that. My dad was getting ticked off from my brother because one thing about his autism is one of his newer tics he's developed for at least a while is whenever something gets way too loud, like either if it's a, if it's one of my dogs barking, or if it's the door, or if our doorbell rings, stuff like that. He has had this tic development that's happened where he makes himself throw up. Like he literally makes the sound of like, ugh, like he like, because he makes himself throw up. But also it's over the silly little things that we don't care about, like if a dog barks, or if it's the doorbell, or people knocking at the door, or if sometimes over loud argument stuff like that. He just has that. He has just that. He just has that one autism tic where it makes him like that. You kind of hear a little bit, but not all of it. But he makes himself puke, y'all. Like Greta is doing right now, as we speak. But it's, y'all, kids with nonverbal autism don't have the nerve to say, hey, that stresses me out, or like they get really scared off. Like they can't say, why did you scream like that? Why? But also they don't understand that they're doing something that they are getting in trouble for. But they don't realize that they're actually, if they do that thing, they will get in trouble. Or they don't realize, oh, a dog barks, that's normal, that's how they talk. Kids like them can't understand them. Can't understand that okay, that's the way dog communicates. Is bark. Is like that. That their brains do not understand that, hey, dogs bark to communicate to other people, or to get someone's attention for something dangerous, or anything barking, or that's how dogs get. That's how they talk, like people. But we talk normal sentences. They talk by barking, by sound, And so, kids like my brother don't. But yeah, nonverbal kids with autism, like my brother, don't get that dogs need to bark in order to communicate. But also, there's just a lot of things that a lot of kids like my brother don't, that we understand, but kids like him don't. Y'all get the picture of what I'm saying now. But yeah, he does a lot of it. So don't mind if you ever have to hear that. And so occasionally my dad will get very ticked off by him. Like he will like you heard a smidge of it. That's why I had to mute. Like that's why I had to literally mute y'all, but also I turned the camera off for a minute, just so that way I'm not trying to overreact to you guys, because I don't want y'all seeing me in that situation. Because you know what, y'all, I will say you guys this. I'll tell you, with me, whenever it comes to, like, I feel like whenever I have to hear someone yelling, not like in a movie, but like in person, like if it's a conversation by argument yelling or something like that, I freeze a lot. Like I just freeze and just in that like state of just shock kind of thing, where my body just does not know what to do and how to even ignore it like that. Like, I actually will tell you guys a couple of story times that kind of go with that. There's been, I think, once or twice I've had this happen to me. It was like once or twice a couple years ago. Me and my mom were visiting think we were visiting my nana at their house before they all moved. This was way before we knew that they were gonna even move. Um, but we were just visiting because what we kind of did was about every Friday almost we would go over to see. We basically would go over to see my nana who passed, to hang out with her for a little bit, because the thing is, my papa would work nights a lot, and so we would go over for a little bit and hang out with her to keep her busy. Oh, he's doing that gag right now as we speak. But yeah, basically, he would work nights because he was also a police officer for his city in his area out here. So he would do night patrols with his police partner about mostly every Friday. He would go in and do all that while my mom and I would go over for a little bit, for at least a couple hours, and hang out with her. Yeah, but we would just go over there, hang out, chat, feed her dinner, and just kind of talk to her and hang out like if you would any other time, like if you were going to visit her, just in general, you would. So, one Pacific, I remember this one time specifically that we were going to see her once again. Everything at first was doing really well, and then it was a few months before we left. I was hanging out in the not kitchen. I was hanging out on the living room couch and just going through my phone, just doing what I would do. And I was just minding my own business, doing what I was doing my thing. And all of a sudden, at one point, well, in the middle while I was doing what I was doing, my mom and my papa were talking about adult stuff like they would. And all of a sudden, out bust my papa screaming at her about something they were talking about. And oh boy, y'all, when I heard my papa yell at my mom for like the first time, I kind of never knew that one of my family members was going to yell at each other while I was in the same room. Like, we all three were in the same room, but the only difference was I was on the couch in the living room, and just so you know, living room and kitchen are always connected to each other. So they're not two separate rooms that, you open a door, close it, kind of thing. So I can hear everything they're doing. And so I will not forget. And I turned my head. I'm like, what in the world is going on? And so, of course, I turned over to see what was happening. And, yeah, it was crazy. And then I'll not forget, I was listening to music, and we were in the car. I was listening to music in my headphones all the way back home. And y'all, I was silent. Like, I was deadbolt quiet through the entire drive home because I could not think of how that went. A lot of you guys know, if you've been in fights or arguments, or if you had to encounter a situation like that, like I just told you, y'all get what I mean by that. Like, I was quiet, I didn't speak, not even for a little bit of the drive. And it was hard. Yeah, it was very crazy. So I was just listening to music on the way home. And then when we got back home, y'all, I went to my room. I honestly all went straight to my room and just relaxed because I couldn't bear. I really couldn't. bear just holding in my head anymore. And so I think I went in there and just forgot about the night at that point, because knowing the fact I had to hear my mom and my papa yell at each other. Like, but really hearing my papa yell at my mom like that in a certain conversation they were having, and knowing the fact that his knowing the fact that his granddaughter, but also my mom had to know that her daughter was in the same area as them, but not like physically same room, but across from them, doing her own thing, and she happened to hear everything. Like, well, not everything, but like she's having to hear the argument after all that. Mm. Y'all, a grandparent should never have to hear their own grandkid or child. Ever. They should never have to hear them ever be in that situation. Like, they should never have to be in a situation like that where they're having to literally encounter all that. Like, they're literally having to encounter all of it. And, yeah, like, just, like, just for real. And then, let me think. And then fast forward to another time later, it did happen. I think, like I said, I think it happened twice. I think, and then I'm trying to think. And then again, it was kind of the same thing. I think too. We went over, hung out. They were talking about something else again, and then the same yelling had to happen. So for a second time in a row, I had to hear them screaming at each other back to back. But y'all, mainly it was because that A, he was scared about my Nana's situation that she was in at the time, because she had dementia. And so he was just scared about her, because y'all, the thing is, when a loved one knows that their loved one has dementia, that's the hardest thing to experience, because dementia is one of those diagnoses where it can progress quickly, like within months, but also years. It can progress as the years go by, and you don't know how it's going to end. And so, of course, he's scared for her and not knowing what's going to happen to her. Um, I'm trying to think about all that now, because they all both passed. But yeah, no one know. But yeah, the fact that they don't know what's going to happen to her, but that's because he loves her, and he should, because that's his wife right there. That's my Nana, aka my grandma, who passed 3 years ago, and Papa 3 years ago, like within a 5.5 month gap of each other. Like, it was really hard, you guys, just to rethink about all that now when they passed. Um, but anyway, I'm just like trying to even express all that to you guys. Haley, I see you're in the chat. Sorry, I was talking about a story when you came in here. But anyway, yeah, no one shouldn't have to ever encounter anything like that. Ever. Sorry, my voice is acting crazy. But, yeah, so, anyway, yeah. But like I said, for a lot of you who have been wanting updates with me, like I said, I'm on day 5 of this thing that's happening. It's kind of dumb at this point, because by now I would have been at least hoped, at least would have been now thought I would have been somewhat better. But ever since Sunday, oh, been nothing but just trying to get over all of this. But and also for those of you who are wanting an AJ update, he's doing good. We talked on the phone around 5:30 once again, which went well. But yeah, it went really well though. Yeah, that's what's going on there though, y'all. So, yeah. And even this week, I've just been trying to get better. Like, that's just been my goal for the week, is just to get better by at least the weekend, because, sorry, my dog's being a turd. But yeah, so, anyway, yeah, even I've just been trying to get better myself, because, the thing is, y'all, when you're sick, your body just doesn't know what to do with itself a lot. But also admit, oh my god, my brother. Anyway, but yeah. Sorry, my dog's being turds. Anyway, yeah. So, man, y'all, it's been 30 minutes since live. But also, you guys, I won't even really be on here that much longer, because I will be watching football pretty soon. Like, I'm about to pull it up a little bit on my television, because thankfully it's on Amazon Prime today. So, thankfully I can pull it up on my TV, because I've got Amazon Prime, which is aka Prime Video, by the way. So thankfully I can pull up. Thankfully I can pull up that on my TV without having to go out in the living room and watch it, because y'all, certain channels, like certain TV channels, on our TV network we don't have them, or if we did, one of them we do, but the thing is, you have to only watch it on like one TV. Yeah. So for example, ESPN is one of those channels where you would have to watch it. I'm watching it here. I know I'm watching it here. Chill. But anyway, sorry, my dad's being stupid in the background. But anyway, yeah. So anyway, yeah. But that's what's happening there. But yeah, I'm about to start watching it in here pretty soon. But yeah. So. But yeah, like I said, I'm glad I came out here for a little bit with y'all. Yeah, I'm glad I came out here with you guys for at least a good little bit. But yeah, like I said, I'm not gonna be on here that much longer, which I'm about to get off though. So hopefully the rest of you guys have a great rest of y'all's evening, night, or afternoon, or morning, wherever you guys are watching it from. Because there's more people on here than just one person that was watching it, because, there's going to be others watching it when it also gets posted. So, yeah, so any times I know are from, hopefully you guys have a great rest of y'all's day. And I'll see you guys back at it on Saturday after this. So,